Fannie and Freddie. We have hundreds of billions invested. You've assured us the investment is safe.
And it is. Absolutely.
We're watching a great deal of our money disappear. Share prices have dropped 60% in the last 2 months. Carrying your bazooka around has not helped matters. Congress gave you the power. Perhaps it is time to use it.
The market will stabilize. We just have to give it some time.
There was an approach last month from Russia. They have considerable holdings in Fannie and Freddie as well. They suggested we coordinate and without warning dump hundreds of billions of Fannie and Freddie's bonds onto the market.
That would be
chaos.
So here the explanation from the skin before. The China state has invested or planted shares in the Freddie and Fannie's companies, mortgage companies in the United States. But as the story goes on, the mortgage companies' share experience a plummeting market value or are called subprime mortgage. Namely, because of the home and real estate business sector at the time is experiencing a downturn. The bank cannot sell those houses at a good price or a loss. Due to the loss or drop in the market value, the Russian state made an approach by offering bonds from the United States company.
So everybody, the terminology that I chose from that scene is private industry. Private industry is one of part of the economic sector of a country which consists of activities in the field of business entities where most of the capital is controlled by the private sector and most of the ownership is not controlled by the government.
I hate to do this right now, but I'm going to have a press call first thing, and I really don't know what I'm going to tell them.
Tell them Lehman exacerbated AIG. The simultaneous payouts of CDOs and credit default swaps put catastrophic pressure.
Go back further.
In the movie Too Big to Fail, which chronicles the 2008 global financial crisis, credit default swaps or CDS are one of the key elements depicted. In the context of the movie, CDS are financial instruments used by financial institutions to manage the credit risk associated with a large number of potentially defaulting mortgages. The meaning of CDS in the movie is that many financial institutions have portfolios of mortgages linked to CDS. When the subprime mortgage crisis exploded, these institutions faced huge risks from the CDS they held. As the risk of default became very high, the movie attempts to illustrate how the extensive use of these financial instruments contributed to the escalations of the financial crisis. It is important to note that the film is a dramatization of actual events and may take some artistic liberties. However, CDS played an important role in understanding the complexity of 2008 financial crisis.
Credit default swap CDS are derived financial instruments used in financial market to manage credit risk. It is typing of derived contra VR CDS. Buyer pays a premium to a credit seller in exchange for protection against the rise of defaults when a particular loan or bond. In the scenario in the bonds ensure defaults or certain credit events occur. The seller has to pay a certain amount to the servant buyer. This provides a way for investors or lenders to protect themselves from the potential risk that a borrower or bond issuer might fail to fulfill its obligation. However, CDS have also become controversial as that can be used for speculation beyond the guaranteed interest of bondholders and can contribute to system insecurity in financial market if not properly managed.
Wall Street started bundling home loans together, mortgage-backed securities, and selling slices of those bundles to investors. And they were making big money. So they started pushing the lenders, saying, come on, we need more loans.
The lenders had already given loans to borrowers with good credit, so they go bottom feeding. They lower their criteria.
Before, you needed a credit score of 620 and a down payment of 20%. Now they'll settle for 500, no money down.
And the buyer, the regular guy on the street, assumes that the experts know what they're doing. He's saying to himself, if the bank's willing to loan me money, I must be able to afford it. So he reaches for the American dream. He buys that house.
The banks knew securities based on shitbag mortgages were risky.
You'll work on shitbag.
So to control their downside, the banks started buying a kind of insurance. If mortgages default, insurance company pays. Default swap. The banks insure their potential losses to move the risk off their books so they can invest more, make more money.
Well, a lot of companies insured this stuff. One was dumb enough to take on an almost unbelievable amount of risk.
AIG.
And you'll work on dumb.
And when they ask me why they did that?
Fees.
Hundreds of millions in fees.
Yeah, she figured the housing market would just keep going up. But then the unexpected happens.
Housing prices go down.
Poor bastard who bought his dream house. The teaser rate on his...
A credit default swap is a type of financial derivative that allows investors to swap or balance their credit risks with the of other investor. CDS is an investment instrument in the form of the contract involving the seller and the buyer by paying a fee, fixed premium for a certain period until a maturity or maturity date. And there is a compensation fee that must be met in the event of the credit event.
The connection between the credit default swap and the scene above is that the bank knows that the junk mortgage-backed securities are very dangerous. So, to anticipate the risk of default, the bank buys some kind of insurance. If the mortgage goes bad, the insurance company will pay that.
Sure, I'll help you out, but you gotta throw in a sweetener just like you did for those guys.
They just assume I'm gonna bail out Dick Folt, like I'm the guy behind the elephant with the shovel.
They're all drawing a line from Bear and Fannie and Freddie right to Lehman.
There's no way the taxpayers are going to go for another bailout. Very large purchase assistance package.
We need to come up with a private sector solution. Get the investment banks to bridge the gap.
Okay, but that's never going to work unless they believe that you've drawn a line.
I know you don't like leaking, but let us reach out to the press.
A bailout refers to financial assistance or support provided by a government, organization, or individual to rescue a business, institution, or entity from financial distress or failure. It typically involves providing funds or resources to prevent the entity from collapsing or going bankrupt. Bailouts are often used in the context of financial crisis, economic downturn, or situation where the failure of the entity could have far-reaching negative consequences. This can involve the provision of funds, guarantees, or other assistance to prevent the failure of the institution.
In the film Too Big to Fail, the reason for the bailout is due to concern that several large financial institutions in the United States, such as Lehman Brothers, AIG, and Bank of America, face the risk of bankruptcy, which can have a serious impact on the global financial system. The United States government and key financial officials believe that if these institutions fail, it can trigger a deeper financial crisis and have a negative impact on the economy as a whole. Therefore, they decide to provide bailout or financial support to these institutions as an effort to prevent their fall and minimize their impact on the financial system.
Thanks for coming down here on such short notice. Monday morning, Lehman will no longer be able to honor its obligations. We have two potential buyers, B of A and Barclays. Neither will take the company unless someone else finances part of the deal. The government is not in a position to step in. I did the last one. You're gonna do this one.
Where's Dick Fold?
Dick's in no condition to make any decisions.
We're breaking you into 3 groups. The first one, we'll try to value Lehman's toxic assets. The second one will work on some sort of structure for you all to invest in Lehman. And the third one works on the out plan. If Lehman...
In this scene, Henry gathered bank CEOs to help solve problems from Lehman's company. Henry convinced by giving interest to other CEOs, if Lehman went bankrupt, then their bank would also go bankrupt. He will remember anyone who did not participate in helping Lehman, because Lehman's bankruptcy made investors and the public lose confidence in the American economy and will withdraw their funds from the capital market.
Terminology for these scenes is derivative. Derivative is a financial instrument or contract whose value is based on or derives from the performance of an underlying asset, index, or reference rate. These instruments are used for various purposes in finance, including hedging, speculating, and risk management.